Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
That is still my jam. It is. Yes, it is. Hey, and another one. Here it come. Hey. And that's the Bella Purpose. Good morning. All you beautiful people. Look at y'all. Looking good today. Yeah, I got my blue on. You know, when I put my blue on, I'm up to something. That's my power color, right? Well, I'm headed out right after the show concludes this morning, out to Southland Preparatory School to talk to 100 and some freshmen. I was out there a week ago Monday with the Hype Squad. They went with me. Those are my guys that go and help raise the roof when we get kids. It was freshmen. Let me tell you something. They were sitting up there like this. I was like, what's wrong with y'all? Right? We had to get them up. We had to give away a few $100s. That's the only thing they get kids respond to is money. Right. So going back out there today to hang out with the kids and then going back again day after tomorrow for their graduation from freshman orientation. 2 weeks of it they go through. This school, let me tell you, these kids go to school for 9 hours a day. But their graduating class of 2022, I think it was 113 graduates. Between the 113 graduates, every one of those graduates got accepted to college, every single one of them, all of them kids of color. And together, collectively, they garnered $52 million in scholarship money between those seniors. Their top senior, she ended up with, I think, $14 million worth of scholarship money herself. So they're doing something really good out there at Southland College Preparatory. I'll say hello to them from all of you. I'm excited. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm still channeling just a little bit of Isabel Sanford. For those kids out there that don't know, that was Louise Jefferson on the Jeffersons. George. Yeah. So I got a little her coming through. You can hear. Or Barry White now. That was my guy too. Barry, you know. That's right. I wish I could do some Barry. Can I do some Barry? No, because he ain't got nothing but nasty lines in his songs. It's a family show. I remember the first time I played some Barry White for my husband Brian, because y'all know he white, right? He had never heard of him. And Barry White said something about take off them panties. And he looked, he was like, did he say what I thought he said? I said, yeah, that's Barry White. So anyway, that's the bell of purpose. Why do I ring it and when? Why? Because just like that bell has a ring to it, the truth does too. So when I ring the bell, it's because I don't want you to miss something that's happening. There must be a comment floating around. The guest just said something. Once in a blue moon, I will. Whatever it is, I don't want you to miss it. So that's what the bell of purpose is all about. Because when we do things with purpose, on purpose, we find ourselves living within our divine purpose. Can I get an amen? Can I? There's one. Now, what about you? Put an amen in the comments if you believe you're living within your divine purpose or soon to be, right? Welcome to the show. She's here every day, has been for 6.5 years. This is my sidekick. She's my version of Ed McMahon, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Love me some Lucy. So who's here today? I love his name. I really do. Adrian Akeem. Wasn't that the boy's name in Coming to America? Wasn't it Akeem? I think it was. Remember? Yeah, Eddie Murphy played that role. Whatever kind of food you like. I still love that and Harlem Nights, my two favorite movies. Well, and Fridays too, right? Fridays, y'all got to admit. Fridays, I want to be the old man, the daddy, the dog catcher man. I want to, if they ever remake that movie, I'm getting that role. So anyway, Adrian Akeem Sterling, let me tell you about this guy. I saw him somewhere. I just saw him and I was like, where's my thing at? I don't know where I put it, but I had my magnifying glass. Really, I was like, and then I started watching some of his trailers and some of his work. And I'm going to tell you what, y'all know how I feel about prophesying over things. And I have that gift, I really do, where God gives me brief glimpses inside of the greatness of others from time to time. And today's guest, that's exactly what happened. I looked at him and I looked at his work and I said, ooh-wee, I better get to know him and quick because he's going far. He's a great young man. Has come through quite a bit in such a short journey. Just a kid when you compare him to my old ass. But man, he's got something. And we love to show you wonderful stories here on Bathrobe Moments. And I love introducing people I love to other people I love. So today's no exception. So let me give you a little taste by reading just a little bit of Adrian's bio. So Adrian Akeem Sterling, he's an American actor of Trinidad. Look at this. I love this combo. Trinidad and Chinese descent. He hails from the county of Kings, Brooklyn, New York, and lost his accent in the small city of East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. That sounds like a white town, don't it? East Stroud. Where you from? East Stroudsburg. Okay, but we're going to find out. At 7 years old, he knew he was an entertainer. I know that feeling. And by the age of 13, he found out how he would. He said he was going to get in through football. Okay, I didn't see this part before. He says, despite his smaller stature, he earned all-star honors, D1 scholarships, and eventually a couple of chances to play in the NFL. Well, on the cusp of a dream, realized something was missing. And Adrian wanted to use his natural gifts to tell stories that would move people all across the world. So he started and continues today to train with some of the best in the business. He is that looked like a German word. He is a Meisner trained actor. I don't know if I got that right. With on-camera training from Bob Krakower. Ted, man, couldn't you just pick somebody with the last name Smith? My goodness. Bob Krakower, Ted Sluberski, and Craig Archibald. I think I nailed all four of those. And he refines his improvisation skills at the prestigious PIT. I wonder what that stands for. There's more here about how he's a leading man and all that, but like the kids say, I can show you better than I can tell you. So, without further ado, let's get him in here, shall we? Now, first timer, you know how to be all nervous and stuff, y'all. So put your hearts on the screen. But more importantly, let's put our hearts inside this illuminated conversation as we bring our first time friend out, but no longer first timer, our good friend, Adrian Akeem Sterling. What a name. I'm looking at the phone. They did put some hearts on. Keep hitting those hearts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me. Thanks for that awesome introduction.
Of course.
And East Stroudsburg is a very white town. So
is it?
Yeah, it is.
I just knew it. I was like, they probably like, what you doing here? So anyway, before we get all into that, Adrian, I want to say how excited I am to have you here today. I want you to just take the stage for a second. Say hello to everybody. Tell them where you're at in the world. And then let's get started. I want to start with the life and times of little Adrian.
Wow.
Right. That back when your mama used to call you when you was in trouble by your whole name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knew something was up. You getting toe up. Adrian Akeem Sterling. Right. So anyway, say hello to everybody and tell them what I didn't.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for welcoming me and having me here. I'm Adrian Akeem Sterling. I'm an actor now from Brooklyn, New York, and currently I'm in New Jersey at my house. And I'm really just grateful to be here.
Awesome. Told you he was nervous. So listen, let's talk about where'd you get started, Adrian? Let's just get into it. The first half of this show, we like to talk about our backstories. So take us back to little Adrian. What was it like growing up for you? Was it a single parent household? Did you have two parents? How many siblings? What was it like?
So I grew. The majority of my life I spent in Brooklyn, New York. I was born in East New York and then moved to Flatbush, and then we ended up in Bushwick Houses, which is the projects.
I heard about that place. Those are famous projects.
We're like right down the street from Marcy Houses, where Jay-Z and Biggie are from in Bed-Stuy. And so now it's like Bushwick is like hyper gentrified, and but the project is still, obviously they're not going to take your public housing, so you could.
What was that like, Brian?
It was.
Who was there? You, your mom,
so
your dad?
When we were in Brooklyn, I didn't move out until I was 14, and my dad was around until I was 10 before he left, and I have
three. Where'd you go?
He just went
to the store for some milk and never came back.
Yeah, basically one of those.
I'll be back. Anybody need anything? Right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I have two younger brothers, one older brother. And I have just the most amazing mother in the world who just raised us up to be good men, strong men who care. And it was, when my dad was there, it was a pretty abusive household. And then after he left, it became more loving. Obviously, my mom had to work a lot and stuff like that. But then moving to Pennsylvania helped because everything's at a slower pace. You're not in as much danger all the time, because in the projects it's a extremely dangerous place. It's a very high pressure environment. So
and 4 boys, that's hard with 2 parents.
Oh my God.
But especially 4 boys, 1 woman, and boys of color.
Yeah.
Because you got gangs trying to get you and everything. Talk about that. Were you or any of your brothers, because I've seen the one brother that you do work with. I think you two must be right beside each other because you almost look like twins. So talk about that. What was that like before you guys got out of New York? Were any of your brothers, or were you, was it getting kind of scary? What was that like?
Well, Brooklyn kids, like, you don't really, I always say, like, you don't really, so you grow up in it. My mom kind of taught us how to be. Like, my mom came over from Trinidad when she was 18. And so she kind of like learned the hard way, like what it's like to live in Brooklyn and stuff like that. So she taught us, like, to be street smart, and obviously, try to keep us out of trouble as much as possible. So we were in karate, when we were in Brooklyn, like we were in taekwondo right after school. We fought a lot. Like, me and my older brother, we fought a lot of kids all the time. Like, it's, kids are desperate. Like, we're all hungry. We're all tired.
Yeah,
You're hearing gunshots outside the apartments all the time.
all the
So
time.
kids are stealing each other's snacks. We're stealing from the corner stores. So, like, you kind of grow up, like, it's like fear becomes so common to you because you're just on edge all the time, right? You got to protect your little brothers, you got to protect your mom, she's trying to protect you, you're trying to protect your food.
Dang.
So, and it's just the way it is. Like, when I look back at it, I don't, it was just so normal. When I got to Pennsylvania, I realized, oh, like, you could just relax, like,
What? You mean I ain't got to take my pistol to kindergarten?
I mean,
Wow.
it's amazing. Like, you're not fighting, you realize, like, when you get pulled out of the environment, like, oh, okay, like, I wasn't just like a super troubled kid. Like, it was a super, high pressure environment, and I was always on edge.
So tell us, okay, so I bet you remember this. Do you remember the day in New York where your mom set you guys down and said, guess what, boys? We're moving. Moving? Where? And I'm sure everybody went, let's go. Because you thought, what about my friends? This is my world. What is
Mhm.
this unknown place we're going to? So do you remember much about that conversation? And if so, take us back for a moment. What was it like, and why did she say she was doing it?
Well, I remember. So one day, we, like, 3 months before that, our car got, like, vandalized crazy in front of right. We parked in front of the projects, like, right on the street, on
Mm-hmm.
the block, and yeah, the car got crazy vandalized, like, keyed over, fu, all this stuff. I think just because um, my my mom is Trinidadian, so she has a lot of pride, and she doesn't really take any crap from anybody. So I think
Mm.
they kind of thought she was, like, a little pompous, and
Let's put her in her place.
yeah, and they tried
Crucible
to,
her.
yeah, they tried to, but she was screaming out, that morning when she saw the car, she was looking for who did it, screaming right there, like, come,
Come on out here.
yeah, come on, let
Right.
me know, let me
Right.
know. Absolutely. And she was fearless. But once that happened, she was like, we have to get out of here. Like,
We have to get
this
out.
is not a, and after me and my brother got into, we were fighting a lot at that point. And she was like, okay, yeah, we got to get out of here. And when she
It
finally
was
told
becoming
us,
personal.
yeah, like,
Um,
it was pretty much violence every day. And she was like, listen, like, we used to visit my aunt who lived in Pennsylvania, like, once a month. And we were just like, what is this? Like, there's no buildings really. There's a
so
grass.
boring here.
Yeah.
I
Like,
can't go to sleep, Mama. It's too quiet.
it's too quiet. Like,
Gunshots.
we
Right.
could see the stars. We were like, what is
Oh,
this? And
right.
there was a lot of white people. Like, where we were, there was really, we didn't really, my school was pretty much predominantly Puerto Rican and black. So we didn't really, you know, n- like, we thought all white people stayed in Manhattan.
Right.
And
Its own
so
world.
yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
when she told us, we were, obviously we were sad we got to leave the Taekwondo. We were sad about leaving our friends, but, like, we didn't really hang out after school with kids. Like, if we went from school to my grandma's house to Taekwondo. So like we were gonna miss our grandma a lot, but we would still come and see her. But you know, we were pretty mature in knowing like this things will be easier. That's how she kept telling us, like
Yeah.
things will be easier, things will be easier, and they really were like they really were in terms of like you remove that level of violence from your
Well,
life.
right. It's a whole different. You can kind of be a kid. I
Yeah,
mean, for the
yeah,
first time, really
yeah,
understand what it's like to be a kid.
yeah.
So tell me this. So how old exactly were you when you made the switch over to Pennsylvania?
I'm pretty like 12, like right when I started middle school.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So let's talk about this. So you move from the world of pop 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 pow and all of that and fighting and a lot of structure.
yeah,
Your mom kept you guys moving. Go here, go straight to there, go straight from grandma, straight to grandma, then bring your ass home.
yeah, yeah.
Right. She knew what was up. So
Hmm.
what was it? What was it like for you at 12? What were your dreams leaving New York? And when did they change, if at all, once you got to Pennsylvania? When did this person before us start emerging?
Honestly, I remember really vividly. It's like one of my first memories. Like when I was 7 years old, walking into the school, like the schoolyard, and thinking, just thinking in my head, like I was special and that
Mm.
I wasn't gonna be like I didn't like where how things were, and I knew I was going to change it. Like for some reason, I just knew like God put something special in me, and my my job, right, is to see that through, to change things.
So at
Like,
12, you started feeling
no, at
this.
7.
At 7,
At 7. So I always knew, like I just knew it one day. I knew it like there's something special about you, Adrian, and you got to make sure that you fulfill that potential. My job was to discover what it was. And,
uh-huh.
and
Just knew.
I just knew.
I was that kid too. I was that kid too. Absolutely.
And look at you. So
Oh, well.
absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's funny. I tell this story all the time, even like about, now that I'm married and never thought that would happen to a person like me. And I remember I was 22 years old and I had dated somebody for about 2 weeks. And I was like, this is not for me. Nope.
Mhm.
I'll be alone. So I said, well, God, if there's ever, I'd rather spend this is a deal I made. I said, listen, I already know I would rather spend the last 5 minutes of my life with my everything than all of my life with just anything. So I'll
Mm.
be patient and wait for the right one. Well, I was 22 then. Right around 40, 45, I remember going, dang, you took me seriously, didn't you? Still alone, right? But it's not how you start a race, it's how you finish it. And at 50, I found my everything. So I got it. So it works. I'll tell you
Amen.
that much. So let's talk about this. So you knew at 7. Did you tell anybody? I mean, did you like confide with your brother? Guess what, man? Something special in me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Or did you keep it to yourself? Because I kept it to myself. I didn't tell a soul.
I think at I think yeah, I'm no, I didn't tell anybody. I thought people could really see it. Like my teachers would always say, like, you have a bright future. It was being like really reinforced in me that I'm like a special kid. Like
Uh
there was,
huh.
and I was always the leader of my friend group. So I just kind of assumed my position when I was around my friends, when I was in a classroom. I was like, I got to lead the classroom. It was just like divine purpose that I felt like I
Ooh.
needed to, like, it's who I was. Like I needed to be, if somebody needed like help, like if we needed a leader, it had to be me. And I just kind of assumed the roles because it was so actionable. Like the purpose was just in me, and I just needed to continue to do it.
That's right, Robert. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely, yeah,
It says yes.
exactly. And it
It's all
showed up.
about how you show up. And he
Thank
also said that that is a powerful mindset. So true. So let's talk about that. Um, you now today, how old are you now, Adrian?
27.
27. Oh, 27. Remember that age, y'all? I do. I do. So, okay. So you're now in Pennsylvania. You're 12 years old. And what did you think you were going to be doing with your life at 12?
So I think my first, so I first, I've watched a lot of stand-up comedy. I knew I wanted to be on stage. Like I knew I wanted to be to entertain. Like I wanted to, I used to watch wrestling and, Steve Harvey was like my favorite comedian. And when they would come out on stage and they get these cheers and, see like how people reacted to them, I was always like attracted to that energy. Like people would like want to come hear you, come see you do your thing. I even wanted to be a pastor, because the way they would control, the room and people would just be hanging on their every word. And I didn't really know. So when I was 12, it was, and I got to Pennsylvania, I was like, okay, I want to be a comedian. And so I would just watch like so many comedians, everything, all that stuff. And but then but then the year after, the year I got to Pennsylvania, we didn't really play sports. Like in Brooklyn, like if you don't play basketball, and like you get in a lot of trouble if you're playing basketball, like in the projects, right? Like it's just like if you're out there too late, things go down.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Mom
yeah.
was never like, she was like, get inside.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing that.
And
Come get
B,
taekwondo.
if you're going to play basketball, you better put a laundry basket up in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting out of here. Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So we were like, no. So when I got to Pennsylvania and like the gym, like school was structured better, right? Like, and you have this ease to life. So you're more curious. What are these white kids doing? What's going on? And
You
they
find
asked me
out
to play.
more exist. You find out there's more existing in the world.
So much, you get absolutely, and that's the biggest thing. You get exposed to things. Like I never even watched sports till I got to Pennsylvania. Like we watched a lot of cartoons. I had such an imagination. Watch a lot of cartoons. A lot of like movies, Disney movies and stuff. So when we got to Pennsylvania and I was in gym and like our gym teacher saw I was athletic, he said you should play football. And I asked him, the first question I asked him was like, how much is it? Because I didn't grow up with a lot of money.
Mm.
And he was like, no, it's free. You just sign up for it and you can go and do it. And I
Did you
told
say
my, I said, whoa.
right?
And I signed up for it and I told my mom and she was like, okay. And I remember the first day I did it, I was like, I did really well. And it was that adoration that I watched like these comedians get.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and I'm good at it. And I never tried do any of the other things except taekwondo, and I was like, in taekwondo I was really good at too, and I was getting that positive reinforcement, and it like fed that thing in my mind that like you're special,
Mm.
special, and I realized I was good at it. I started researching like other players. What can you do with this? What can you do with this? And I
So if I'm
realized,
good at this, where can I take it?
where can I take it?
How do I get
Because
there?
the ultimate goal is to change things for my family, right? To uplift us all.
Mm.
And I did that. I googled and researched and watched all these documentaries and things, and all these players that I looked up to did the things that I wanted to do for my family, for their family. So as soon as I saw this was the path, I kind of locked myself in and committed and
And the
went
rest
for
is
it.
history. The
Mm-hmm.
rest is history. When we come back, we're going to take a short break, you guys. When we come back, we're going to take a look at one of the trailers from some of Adrian's work and talk more about you step into all this football and this and the other, your claim to fame, you think, and then it all gets twisted around. We're going to talk about that and more about this journey. What a great journey in just 27 years. Go figure. A whole bunch more, you guys. Don't go away. It's a great time to share out the broadcast. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Okay, we're back. And before we get young Adrian Akeem Sterling back in here really quick, first of all, I wanted to remind you guys, you saw the P3 commercial there. There is an event. It's free, 90-minute preview. Here it is. There it is on the screen. www.bit.ly/P3/masterclass. Come on in this Saturday if you feel so inclined. Come on in and join us for 90 minutes. We're going to talk about how to get from point A, which is where you're at, to point B, which is everything beyond where you're at. So come on in. It's free. Like I said, another way to get over is to just go to my website, LaurenMichaelsHarris.com, click the blue button at the top and reserve your seat for this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. I guarantee you, you won't regret it, okay? Another thing is, really quickly, V8, you know I love it. Why? Why not? As I get older, I look for everything that is serving me and getting rid of those things that don't. I love this because it's good for me. I gave up the Diet Coke. It's only 60 calories in every can. What else? Oh, they're now 2.5 servings of vegetables in every one of these. So just head down the juice aisle at your local grocer, get yourself a V8. You'll be glad you did. Delicious. So, okay, he's back. So, Adrian, really quickly, I want to ask you before we get into, we're going to watch the clip. I was thinking his mother, I bet his mother's Chinese and his father was Trinidad. How do you say it? Trinidad.
Yeah. My mom is it's Trinidadian, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Trinidad. But your mom is from Trinidad and your dad.
Other way.
Your mom's from Trinidad.
Yeah.
And your dad is from?
No. Yeah. The other. Yeah. My mom is the Asian side, and my dad is Trinidad.
Oh, okay. So I was right. Okay. So tell me really quickly. Do you feel, like a lot of people that come from other places, a parent or grandparent lived over in the other place and came for better lives. So what I'm getting at is that migration mentality, when you have ancestors and people who come for a better life, do you feel that what they did, the sacrifices they made, played a big part in your decision to go for this huge goal of being an actor?
Yeah, well, I think 100%, like being first generation American, and like you have your parents, like I have my mom is such a great example on how to like build, like that anything is possible. You know, that mindset, Robert, he commented about how that mindset is powerful. And when you grow up with somebody instilling in you that everything is available to you, right? So the only thing that's stopping you from anything is the effort you put into it.
Or
And
lack
you,
thereof.
or exactly. So it's really just in watching her sacrifice, watching her push through things, and never really making excuses, really just being someone who's okay, I'm going forward. This is what I want. We're going to get it. And she always say, like, you know, like step in faith. She always says that, walk in faith, walk in faith. And that's how she raised me. That's how she raised us, you know, to
Wow.
walk in faith. God will provide. And yeah, she's the best.
That's awesome. Awesome. Hats off to mom and all you moms and dads out there who do this
Absolutely, yeah.
very thing on a daily basis. So, Adrian, I saw a clip. I don't remember what it was. It was you and one of your brothers. And talk about, what are the others doing now?
My older brother is a artist, music artist, and he goes by The Late, and you can find him on Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, and he is right now in Virginia. He helps mix other. He also produces beats and mixes and stuff. So he works with a lot of artists coming up. So he gives back to the community of artists. He wants to make it a more inclusive, and just help artists find their way in that industry. My other brother, my other younger brother, Adam, goes to Kent University, and he's studying fashion design. And
Wow.
then my youngest brother, Aaron, is my partner in this film industry, and he's my co-writer and he's my director. So with our short Make It Happen, which is like about the short film is a proof of concept for the larger feature film we're making now, but it's about how, you know, the mental health and pursuing a dream. And my brother, you know, 18 years old, directed that. So
Isn't that something? And I
yeah.
just want to set this up. We're setting up the clip that we're going to watch for Make It Happen. And that's about your journey with football, right?
Yes.
So, and speaking of football, I just want to say it because I know somebody out there was thinking it, because I was like, oh, he didn't know not to hang that sweater on a hanger that made the things go up in the back. That's his lats, y'all. That's meat. That's meat. That ain't them things from the hanger. You know how to hang meat.
No, it's not. No, it's
yes. I was like, they probably think no. I just want to clear that up. So let's take a look. Anything you want to say about this clip before we watch it?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, take a look, you guys. Make It Happen. This is a short version leading to the feature film, which they're doing right now. Sit in the bottom of club. I'm bad to the bone. Bad, and you know bad. Run on home, it'll get bad. You don't want bad, and you know bad. I am all black, bad, and you know I get you bad.
What if I don't love this anymore?
Wow. So, I mean, I'm listening to, if I don't love this, you meant that.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What happened? You got inside this. I imagine a lot of people wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. Tell us about the premise for Make It Happen.
Yeah. So the premise for it it really, you get it there. It's, I wanted so bad. I think the biggest thing is I wanted so badly to make it like, make my dreams come true, not for myself, but to change my family's circumstances. I really I wanted things to be easier on my mom. I wanted, to just lift us up, right? And it's so weird. People always say, don't chase money, chase your passion. And in chasing my passion, I got lost in that end goal, the end of it. Like, oh, if I make it, then everything will be easier, because we'll have money and all that stuff. And it comes, and at some point, I didn't even realize it, but it turned to I had already lost the love for it. And I was already chasing, I was just chasing the money. And I started like hating working out for it. I started hating, the process. And that is really the premise of it all. Like, I remember my last NFL opportunity. Afterwards, another one came, and I just looked at my mom and my brothers, and I was like, I'm done. Like, it wasn't there anymore. Like, I had gone to the point that I could go, mentally and emotionally and physically. Yeah, I could have kept going, but it was just completely out. Like, I was done with it. And it's a lot of people will continue to push
Things they don't truly want.
and then you don't even really want it, and you have to check in with yourself, because I have horrible anxiety, and the pressure and in the short really demonstrates what one opportunity, like when you are knocking at the door to make it, the knocking at the door of your dream, right? And the next that you do this right, things work out, and the door's open and you did it. Leading up to that, right, the pressure of knowing that I could change everything right now,
Right.
what that does to you, it completely warps the dream into something that is more of a nightmare. And
Right.
and that's what we wanted to show.
I just love that you're ripping the Band-Aid off this, because so many of us do that very thing for a lot of reasons, and they're admirable, they're honorable reasons, but you get there and it's not what you wanted. So what about the pressure or the expectations of others? Did you feel like you were letting the family down?
Oh my God. So I started therapy 3 weeks ago, and it's something that me and my therapist have been talking about a lot. Like, and that's what our feature film, it ties into our feature film. It'll show a lot of people is that when you people always talk about your why. Like, why do you want to do something? Why do you want to? It's like my mother, my wife, my kids. I got to do this. But like, when things don't work out for you, that why comes back, right? And it's like, I disappointed my mother, my son, my kids, and that shame, the shame of failure, especially in today's society. Like, if you're not like a millionaire by 25, it's like, wow, what did you do? Like, you're nothing. And
You have a son?
no, I don't. No, I was just
I was like, oh, scandal. Come on, let me ask you this question, because I bet you anything, when you heard it in the media, it immediately resonated with you. I'm talking about that tennis player, the girl, a couple years ago,
Naomi,
I remember, and also the gymnast at the
Simone
Olympics.
Biles.
Right. And they're saying, because of all that stuff, I thought about that in the clip when you were in the gym and you were running and the ball, and you were like, I said, I bet you that's exactly what those girls were talking about, because it is all consuming when you're going for that kind of a thing with sports or anything, even now with your acting in a way. But there's a difference because of the beginning, middle, and end passion.
Yes.
Passion must stretch like taffy from the wood to the tuta. And it has to be authentically yours.
Yes.
Not for anything other. And that's a hard thing for people to wrap their minds around, because you feel selfish and you think you should be selfless. Yeah. And there's a difference, right?
100%. 100%.
So tell me this. How did you make that decision? Because here's the deal. a lot of people don't understand, Adrian, the difference between choice and decision. So you're at that fork in the road. Go to something else, which we now know is acting, or keep doing, here's another NFL opportunity, even though I didn't even want the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the choice, this way or that way. But the decision is which one you actually ended up going with. How did you know, or did you know, that you were making the right decision?
Well, you know, to be honest, when it came, so another NFL opportunity came, and I knew I just didn't. I knew I just didn't want to do this, and it was really hard because I was gonna have to tell my mom and my brothers, like, I'm not a football player anymore. Like, and I thought it was gonna. Oh my God, I just majorly, like, deeply depressed, and you're broken. You know, your identity is kind of wrapped up in, like, this thing you've done for the majority of your life at this point, and something you know, that expression, you know, I've gone too far to turn back. Like, every time you hit, you know, you hit failure and all these things. Don't ever give up. You know what I mean? How bad do you want it? All these things. And if you believe them like I do, like, I really, like, I'm a big Goldcast subscriber. Like, I really, you know, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've seen your video, like I said, and I really subscribe to, like, motivational speakers and motivational quotes. So it was to tell myself, Adrian, like, what we're feeling now is, like, okay, like, it's okay that we can let this go. It was like creating a new person, almost. Like, my brain couldn't wrap around it, so I got incredibly depressed. And when that opportunity came and I talked to my family about it, it was like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, like, in my life. And I didn't know what I was going to do after. Like, I know I'm built a certain way. I'm not built to work in an office. Like, I'm built. It's just the way God made me.
Yes, wired. That whole thing.
Yes, exactly. It's wired. I'm not wired that way. And you know, a lot of times I wish I was, because not that it's easier, but it's more pragmatic. There's a straight line to it, you know, but I'm not. So I knew that wasn't it. And for a month, I just prayed, and I cleaned my room completely. Like, anything my room was blank for a month. And I just waiting for, like, God to give me, like, an answer, give me an answer, give me an answer. And movies were always, like, my love. Like, anytime I was down, anytime I needed to pick me up, you know, my actual last memory of, like, a good moment with my dad was going to watch the first Batman, Batman Begins. And me and my brothers, we watch movies and all that stuff. And I was like, maybe if I'm, like, a really great football player, which I plan to be, I can go into acting after. And I took an acting class in college, and I took an acting class in high school, but just little, like, just to see what it was. And one day I just decided, it was like the last day of April. No, it was the last day of May. And I was like, what if I just, like, Google, what does it take to be an actor?
That's me. I'll do that shit in a minute.
Yeah. You know, I just Googled it, and I was like, what kind of traits do they have?
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I kind of have that. Maybe. And then I was like, how do you even get in? How do you get started? Right?
Wait a minute. Before you even go past that, you guys don't laugh like I just did. I mean, I did. Only because I'm just like that. About a month ago, you guys remember Mikey J, the film director, was here, and he offered me a spot in a movie this fall, right here in front of everybody. I was like, y'all heard it. And then as soon as we got off the show, I'm in here Googling, is anyone ever been nominated for an Oscar from the first time they had a role? And I found out 9 people did. I was like, how many of them were black? How many of them were men? This, that, and the other. Because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do one humding of a death scene. I'm going to be angry, because it's just that thing. And when you talk about that wiring, you took me back. You took me back to when I found my birth mother, Lucille, the one in the video. And in that town, White people lived on one side of the water, black people lived, and black people worked in the factories. They didn't have Whirlpool. World headquarters is there, Benton Harbor, Michigan. And so black people that got jobs at Whirlpool, like, oh, did you hear so-and-so got a job at Whirlpool? And no, none of my siblings had ever worked at Whirlpool, apparently. And I pop up, and first place I go is Whirlpool, and boom, got hired. And then I was like, nope, after 2 weeks, it ain't for me. My mom was like, she was so proud that one of her kids, and I almost stayed there simply to make her happy. But I knew at 16, I only lasted at McDonald's not even 2 hours. I didn't even get the free Big Mac meal, from working a full shift. I was like, do I still get the Big Mac? They're like, nope. Because I didn't like the hat and the scratchy outfit and looking like everybody else. I wasn't wired that way.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Because I already know it to be true. As you move through the stratosphere of this acting, because I already told you what I saw. I saw you holding up what I believe to be an Oscar. Could have been a Golden Globe, a daytime Emmy, anything. But it was one of those major ones. I saw you holding it up. And so I know it's coming for you. I know it's coming for you. Just like it's coming for you. I want you to tell everybody, when I said that to you, do you remember what you said to me? I said, you're going to be big. I was talking like this, and then I went, because they showed it to me. I said, you're going to be even bigger than Denzel one day. Tell me what goes through your spirit when someone on the outside confirms or validates what you've always known to be true, or you're learning from the inside. What's that do for you?
I mean, when I was playing football, like, you get discouraged a lot, right? When you're on these kind of paths, you get like really heavily discouraged. And so it's hard because you are the person who has to believe in yourself to really keep yourself in the race, to keep yourself in the marathon. But when those things, so that intrinsic belief in myself that I will be great, like I'll ascend to the greatness of the people that I admire, that God made me one of those people. And I believe everybody has that level of greatness in them.
They do.
Certain people choose to follow it. Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
And he said that to me. I mean, and like, especially the way it happened, like, you not really even knowing me. And, something inside me, the best way I could say is like something inside me glows, and it's not, so it renders me speechless, but it's something that it's like, like somebody spoke the truth to me. Right? It's like you're doing the right thing. You're meeting the right people. You are on your path. And those moments, like, it just makes my spirit, it just emboldens that faith that I have in myself, that I'm on the right path, that those things that I thought at 7 years old are still true now. And I need to continue to move forward.
That's right. I was just saying yesterday on the show that, when I went into foster care, like 10, and they thought I was crazy, especially the other kids. One thing I learned early in foster care, if bullies and stuff, they're scared of two things: crazy and Jesus. So, if somebody's trying to fight me or bully me, sissy, this and the other, I'd be like, well, that's how God made me. So if you're upset with it, I take it up with him, and so, but what I'm getting at is those imaginary friends that they thought I had that were imaginary. They weren't imaginary. They are the very spirits and angels and the people the entities that support me today. I see them. They're right here, right now. And so I find it so interesting and encouraging that you were such a young boy when this all began, because I was that same person. And I'm telling you, I've seen it. And I'll tell you another thing, since we've been sitting here, when you said I subscribe to Goldcast, you'll have a Goldcast one day. I promise you, you'll have a Goldcast one day. What's around the corner for you? What can we look out for? How can we be of support to Adrian Akeem Sterling?
Right now, me and my brother are working on getting the feature film made of that short. So, and it's really going to go into it's really going to go into the. Oh, I really appreciate that, Lori.
Yes. And
Wow,
look at
that's
Robert.
really beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely, I do.
Oh, that's right.
Yep,
Oh, that's right.
right in the, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Keep
Um,
going.
but yeah, so we're working on this feature that's going to bring together the worlds of sports and mental health, and really allow, and really it's like that story, it's super relevant because like you talked about Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles, and we're in talks with some producers, me and my brother, to get this thing made. So that's the next big thing that are coming from the Sterling brothers.
See, now I didn't even know you knew their names and everything, those two girls.
Yeah, we actually use them in our pitch all the time.
See, and I had no idea.
No, it's beautiful.
Now, do you see that though?
Yeah.
That's how I know what I know. See that
Yeah.
confirmation that's inside of it?
Mhm.
And I know that was like, boo, right in your face.
Yeah.
You were like, he said the same. He sees it before I even showed it.
Yeah.
Dude, y'all don't believe fat meat greasy, do you? You will. You will. I'm so excited. On the screen scrolling is Adrian's Instagram, where you can find it. And there's also the LinkedIn here. And I'm going to drop both of these inside of the chat. You dropped another thing in.
Yeah, that is the full short film. So our short film got into 4 different Oscar qualifying film festivals last year, and it's the proof of concept for the feature film. And yeah, you can go and check it out. Go and check out the full short film, and before we make the feature.
I just dropped that link for your convenience inside the comment section. So at the conclusion here in just a minute or two, head over and take a look at that. Adrian, hang out backstage.
Okay.
I got to run out to get to the school, but I want to holler at you real quick.
Okay.
I just want to say this. Keep going. Be encouraged. I know for a fact that before I transition from this to the next, I will see, I know I will see you hold that award up. I know I will. But I also am confident that after I'm not here anymore, your work will continue for generations. And I'm just so honored to have found you, met you, that we were chosen for each other and for this divine moment in our journeys. I really mean that. And I am just so excited to watch what is headed your way. I really am. I can't wait to meet your brothers. I can't wait to meet your mother. I just can't wait. So I want to leave it at that. You have what I refer to as the turnstile invitation, which means you can come back here anytime. You let us know so that we can support you and just be there for all that you do. So let's say right now, this is your Jerry Springer moment. If you wanted the world that's watching and that will watch this to remember one thing about Adrian Sterling, if they were to forget everything but one thing, what would the one thing about you be that you hope the world would never forget?
Wow. That I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to make things easier, to make life easier for people through every channel that God's given me to do that. And that's the most important thing. That's what I'm here to do, and that's the mission.
I got some connections for you. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Listen, thank you so much, Adrian. And I want to thank all of you. When we come together like we do Monday through Friday right here, it's not just a show. It is an opportunity to fulfill the greatest promise available to us, which is a guarantee that where two or more of us with the same mindset, heart set, soul set comes together, wonderful things like this, encouragement and faith, come together to help us get to where it is our soul must go. So thank you so much, Adrian. And thank all of you. Get out there today, won't you please? And share your light, share your story. Be the very best you can be. Be that change that you believe the world needs. Start with yourself. Adrian, I love you, man. I can't wait. We got to get you and your brother back on. And I want to interview all of them.
Okay.
Whatever they're doing, the fashion guy, the singer, or the artist, the mixer, all of them. So
Okay.
let's put that together too. I'm just so encouraged. Thank you. And I'll see you guys, God willing, tomorrow morning. We'll meet out on the front porch yet again for another episode of Bathrobe Moments. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Be the best, you guys.